Karl-Anthony Towns. Thanks for joining us here at Fullcourt. Um, we are kind of wondering, a great young athlete like you, how did you, through high school and college, were you aware of that you had to improve at certain points as a player? You're a big man, and at the same time you can shoot from the arc. Were you aware of that, or was that just how your game evolved?
I've always been able to shoot the three ball. That's something I've been doing since I was a young boy, and in high school I did a lot of it. And for me, I always realized I got to work on every aspect of my game. If I want to reach the next level, I have to be the most complete player I could be to give myself the best chance. So I knew at a young age, I never thought I had to stop working. Something had to be done every single day to make myself a better player.
So the three-point shot isn't something that you have tried to improve, or of course every year, but not in particular.
I think last year was just more about expanding the game. I didn't shoot many threes my first year in NBA. I shot some, but not many. So, I wanted to make sure that when I go into the next year, my second year, shooting a little more threes, I was more consistent making them. So, I worked on my three-point shot, but I also worked on every single aspect of my game so I could be sharper.
Um, Going into the NBA, we knew you were a great high school kid and college kid. When did you know in the NBA? When did you know I'm gonna be all right here?
Um, I think for me, I felt that I was going to be all right since the day of since college. I felt that I was going to be good. Maybe even before that, since high school. I was had the chance to play against Team USA, and it was the Dream Team V2 with LeBron, everyone on the team. LeBron, Kobe, Carmelo, you name it, they were there. And Anthony Davis was a rookie coming in on the team as well. So I always felt that I was going to be fine. I just needed to continue to work on my game. So when I got to the NBA level, I would make sure that I could be as complete a player as possible and also the most productive player I could be for my teammates.
And I was wondering, how do you work with your mindset? Because we all know, and we have seen through the years, a lot of guys have talent, a lot of guys can play basketball, but the mindset is so important at the NBA. It is so important going into that league. Everything just takes it up a notch, and even you will know in a couple of years the playoffs exceeds that. How do you work on your mindset? How do you work on being a better mental player?
It's everyday thing. It's everyday thing. Just as hard as you train physically, you take mentally as well. Making sure that I'm always on the court. I'm a most mentally strong person on the team because as a leader, as a person everyone looks up to, and looks to for advice. I got to make sure that I'm at my best physically and mentally when the game is on the line. So, I falter at times too, mentally, but at the same time, I try my best to be as mentally strong as possible.
And how would your teammates, let's take Zach Levine, if he was sitting here right now, or your good friend Devin Booker, how would they characterize you as a player?
Um, I don't know. I think for me, I think the one thing I just worry about people say is that I'm a hard worker. I work hard on my craft. I take my craft very seriously, and I think for me, I think they'll just look at me more as a player that is just I hope as a good teammate. As a great teammate, and I think that that's the one thing I hold strong to myself is that I make sure that I'm the best teammate I could possibly be for my teammates.
Yeah, but there's also a big difference in leaders. You can take a Kevin Durant and you can take a LeBron. There's a huge difference in how you lead the team. How do you want to proceed as a leader?
For me, I just take more of the example approach more than the vocal approach. I think that for me, just doing what I'm supposed to do every single day, people will follow suit. And when you're working hard and you're the first one in the gym and last one in the gym, people see that and they want to follow beside that. So I take more of an example. I do have vocal points where I let my thoughts be known to the team and how I feel. But I think at the biggest point of the day, it's going to be more of just an example.
And your team, the Timberwolves, we got a question from one of our readers, a guy named Torkel Bang, who asked, how far are you from, let's say, a team like the Golden State Warriors, who are right now at its best, probably? Uh, he asked, would you need another star player? Do you need a season or two more? How do you progress as a team? How do you improve? And how do you get to the top? I guess that's your plan.
Yeah, I mean, we want to be NBA contenders. We want to be championship contenders. So For us, I think it's more of just us getting together. That team has been together so long. You add Kevin Durant now into the mix, who is always going to be a perfect fit. They make quick changes to sacrifice for each other, and that team has been growing for a long time. If you look at the Warriors, they kind of have the same path that we're on right now, having some losing seasons and all of a sudden exploding once they got it together. So we're on the right path. I think the steps that we're taking are the correct steps, but, it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. We have a lot of things we got to work on, and we've been doing a great job this offseason working on those things. I can't wait for next season because I feel that next season is going to be a great time for us to get playoff experience and be in the playoffs.
And things don't happen overnight, you say. I couldn't agree more. And the same does respect. And I read at a certain point this year when you didn't get voted in on the NBA third team that disrespect is nothing new to me. Where do you feel the respect is for you as a person now? Because everybody here in Denmark is pretty hyped, and our commentators are constantly naming you and Anthony Davis as their favorite player to build a team upon, to build a team around. Do you feel respected as a player in the NBA, or are you still just a young guy doing extremely well?
You know what? I think for me, it's more about winning. We got to win. My teammates have to win. We all, excluding myself. So, we have to earn the respect of people, and that's what we do on the court as a team. We got to go out there, garner W's and garner wins if we expect to be respected by this league. So, this year is a big year for us. It's a big year for us because we feel that we have the experience now, we have the stability now, and we have to go out there and we have to execute at a level that a playoff team should be doing that.
So you're a playoff team this season.
I believe so. I think that we go in with the mindset, the belief, and the work ethic, and we could get it done.
Who's to thank for all this? Who helped you, Karl, on your way to all of this? Is there anyone in particular? A lot of our readers have said that.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, especially myself, it's your parents. They gave me the ability and the confidence to do what I like to do. They give me all the opportunities to use to my advantage, and I'm just glad that I was able to take all the moments in my life to full advantage and make something out of them.
And who did you idolize when you were a kid?
I love Len Bias. I love the story. I love this game, and I grew up, fortunately enough, with computers just being introduced and broadband internet, so I was able to see videos of them walk around, and I've been able to see them play historical games, VHSs also. But I wanted to be like a lot of players. I wanted to take a lot of flavors from a lot of players: Magic Johnson, Hakeem Olajuwon, old school Tim Duncan, KG, Dirk Nowitzki, Sam Perkins. There's a lot of players that I looked and studied, and I wanted to implement my own flavor as well at the end of the day and make my own player.
And here in Denmark, we're almost done here. Here in Denmark, we have never had an NBA player. We were very, very close. We had a guy called Christian Dreyer, who was drafted from the Brooklyn Nets, and he didn't make it because of an injury. What is your best advice to a young guy in Denmark trying to make it, who has the talent, who has the physique? What is the best advice from Karl-Anthony Towns, a guy who made it?
I think for me, I've always looked at working out as a way of having an advantage on the next opponent, and whether I know the opponent or not. I think when I go in the gym when I was younger, I always used to think about, if I'm not in the gym, there's a kid in China who's working out right now trying to take my spot, and then if I'm not running or doing something or playing basketball, there's a kid in Finland or Spain, wherever it may be, another country that I may not know of, and he's trying to come take my spot. So I have to protect, in my mind, the kingdom at all costs. So when I went in the gym, I went not only in the gym with the mentality of protecting the kingdom, but also fortifying it. So, I wanted to go in there and get better every single day. I wanted to solidify who I was as a player, and I wanted to make sure that regardless of the challenge that was presented in front of me, I was going to be able to conquer it.
So stay paranoid.
Yes, absolutely.
Karl-Anthony Towns, thank you for letting us talk to you, and good luck on your career.